again, Sue here from Sue's Dog Broadmouth Kitchen, and I would like to show you how to make a half-pound cake today. So my half-pound cake will be slightly different to what I've got written, and today's book that I'm using is the Dairy Book of British Food. This is a very old book. Let me see if I can see the date. But I know it's quite an old book. Let me see. So we're working way through all these books that we got. We got millions of recipe books from all over the world. 1988, the first impression. Yep, so that's how old this book is, 1988. And recipes don't really change much, do they? So today we're doing this recipe here, this half-pound cake here. So I've never made a half-pound cake before, but it's just basically a fruit cake. A bit like myself, I'm a fruit cake. So I hope everybody's okay. Today I'm going to make that cake in this tin here, which is 7.5 inches. It's supposed to be about 8 inches, 7.5, 8 inches. So the first thing you need to do is, I've got my ingredients in front of me, but I need to just move this table back. I just need to grease and line this tin. And I was going to do it off camera, and then I thought I wanted to show you how I grease and line my tins. So I collect all these wrappers from my butter and stuff. So I've got lots and lots of wrappers, and what I do is I just use these. So I don't use parchment paper. I do have some, but to save money I just reuse all these because I'm well into recycling. So if you watch any of my other videos, you see that I like to reuse things as much as possible, and that includes paper from the butter. So I've got some butter here, so I'm just putting my butter in here. I'm just going to grease this tin, which is already a non-stick tin, by the way, but you have to grease and line them anyway. And then with the same piece of paper, I'm going to push it into the tin, and we're going to use that as our lining as well. So then I will get another piece as well. I've got another one here, and I will tear that long ways. And this is what I do. I do this all the time when I'm making a cake. I don't throw anything away. They're already greased, and then you just need to go around the edge like so. Doesn't need to be cut precise. Just put it there, just get it in there. And then, so that's nearly all done. Look, this works really well, by the way. And no waste, no rubbish, no rubbish. And I've got one more here which I've already used half of. So that will go in as well. And that's it done. So the cake tin is now greased and lined. So when you go to take your cake out, you just peel off the paper off the top. It comes off really easy because it's grease-proof paper anyway. And there it is. It's all greased and lined. Whoopsie, it fell out. Just push it back in again. That's because I just tipped it, showing you. And you could also put a bit more butter on that, but it will be all right because the weight of the cake mixture will hold it in place. So there you are. Just thought I'd show you that before we begun. So the ingredients you need for this cake are as follows. I will read them out and I will show you. So let me look. I have to put my glasses on. So for this cake you need 8 ounces of butter. So I haven't weighed out anything yet. There's butter in there. 8 ounces of caster sugar. Slightly different here. I just use normal granulated sugar. I never go out and buy Pacific sugars for things, okay? And all my cakes come out perfectly well with granulated sugar. I've got some left in here, and I've got a new packet here. But if you want to grind it up a bit more, go ahead, or if you want to use the caster sugar, go ahead. And then 4 eggs beaten. So I've got my 4 eggs here. I haven't beaten them yet. And then 8 ounces of plain flour. I've got my flour in this bag here because it stops it leaking out all over my larder. Because these bags are a bit, you know, the flour, or you can put it in a plastic container box like one of these. Actually, it's probably a good idea. I have some walnuts in there for the decoration afterwards. And then it needs quite a lot of fruit. So I've got all these odds and ends here from different things that I've made. So I've got seedless raisins, a bit in there, dried mixed fruit, there's a bit in there, and some sultanas, there's some in there. So what I will do, it says here, you need 8 ounces of seedless raisins. So I doubt that that's 8 ounces, so I'll make it up with a bit of the mixed fruit. And then it says 8 ounces of mixed currants and sultanas. So I've got my sultanas here, and that's what I do. I just use what I've got in my cupboard, use up all the old ingredients first. So I do have a new bag of mixed vine fruit, which is basically currants and raisins, all mixed together in that. But I shouldn't think I will need this bag today. I think this will probably be enough, but just in case I brought it out, okay? And then it says you need 4 ounces of glacier cherries. Right, I've got these cherries here, cocktail cherries. Doesn't really matter. I bought these for my bar to make cocktails with, and we haven't used them, so I'm actually going to just use them for cooking now. So that's some cherries there, glacier cherries. A pinch of salt, and then you need half a teaspoon of mixed spice. So I've got some spice here. There's a little bit left in here, that'll probably be enough, but there's also some in this bag here. I will buy some more mixed spice when I go out, so I'll have to make sure I get some of that. And then you need 1 tablespoon of brandy. So I have some brandy here called Jules Claron fine French brandy, so there we are, and we might have a little tipple as well. Shh. And then walnut halves to decorate. As I just showed you, I've got walnuts here, and I will use whole walnuts. I'm not bothering to halve them, God's sake. And then that's it. So that's the cake. So next we're just going to put all the ingredients together, and you can watch me do that. I will be using a electric hand whisk to put together the, you know, because you need to mix the butter and the sugar together. And we don't want to be here all day doing it. So I'll just get the mixing utensils out. Find them. Hold on. Where's the other bit? Oh, there it is. Okay. Got my bits for me mixer. So I'll put them on there. And in there, and plug it in ready. Right, so the first thing we need to do on the list is, just pull this back a little bit, okay, grease and line the cake tin. So we've just done that. Cream the butter and the sugar together until pale and fluffy. So first of all we need to weigh it out. So the butter 8 ounces, sugar 8 ounces, and we're going to put them together in this bowl. So I will get a little plate, I did have one, here we are. And always reset your scales if they're digital to 0 when you've put on the plate, okay? So we're going to do 8 ounces of butter. I'll just get this spoon. This butter's gone nice and soft because it's been out in the kitchen for many hours. So usually I have to defrost everything in the microwave. It's very, very cold in this kitchen. But I've been out here for a while now. Well, it's quite a lot of butter. We're not quite there yet. That's only 6.6. So we need a bit of this new pack here that I've got. So I have to take a bit of this one. This one's a bit harder because I just took it out of the fridge. Alright, so that's 7. Nearly there. Whoa, tiny little bit more. It doesn't matter if it's not exact. Most of the time I never do things exact, ever. But today we are, okay, for that. So that's 8 ounces of butter there. So we're going to put that in this bowl, and we're going to weigh out the sugar. So we're not going to weigh the sugar on that plate. We're going to weigh the sugar in a bowl. So we'll just use a normal cereal bowl, reset the scales. So it's the same amount, 8 ounces. Okay, so we're just let's do this. 7. Oh, nearly 7.6. Whoa, 7.8. That will be enough sugar actually. So I'm going to tip that in there with that, and that's enough sugar for us. Okay, we're not great sugar eaters anyway. So first thing to do is mix that together. So we'll get the whisk and mix it together. Helps to switch it on. I always do this. And start gently. And that's another thing I tend to do is put the whisk on really high, and then it just flicks all over the place. Luckily you don't see that, because usually I just take that bit out and start again. But today it just flicked a little bit, but not much. So you just blend together the sugar and the butter. You can do this with a fork if you want, but well, I'd rather just use a mixer. It's much quicker. You don't want to see me forking some butter and sugar, I hope not. It's hard work. So it's nearly done. And then after you've done that, cream the butter and the sugar together until pale and fluffy. Gradually add the eggs. So we're gradually going to add the eggs one at a time once this is fully blended, which it nearly is. So we're nearly done with this part of the mixture. Let me just move that out of the way a minute. My nerves. There, that's better. So, try not to get it on the book. So I hope you're having a good day. Let me know what you've been up to, and are you baking? And if you are, what's your favourite thing to make? Because I'm really enjoying my baking today. I'm really enjoying it. Oops, right, so what we're going to do now is add the eggs one at a time, okay? So we'll just crack one. Keep all the eggshells, by the way, really good for your garden. If you watch, I'm starting some videos for my garden, and I would love you to watch them if you want. If you're interested in gardening at all, then I've got a new polytunnel which we're just nearly finished putting up, and I'm going to be doing lots and lots of gardening videos from the ground up. You will see my polytunnel from the beginning, which is now, it's got nothing in it whatsoever at all, to being fully stocked, and we want to grow all our own fruit and veg. That's the plan. We want to grow all our own fruit and veg. Well, as much fruit as we can grow, being in our climate, obviously we can't grow bananas and things, so we still have to buy some. But on the whole, we're going to try and grow as much produce as possible, and it's all going to be organic, because I'm well into having organic food, and organic fruit and vegetables are really expensive to buy. Even though they're becoming a lot more popular, they're still very expensive, and the polytunnel will soon pay for itself once we start eating the produce and making things with it. And I'll be making lots of videos to show you how to make chutneys, jams, all sorts of things that you grow yourself. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. And if you look out on my channel, Sue's Dolbrog My Garden, I will be showing you the progress of that, and it will be starting very, very soon. I haven't actually started doing the polytunnel videos yet, but I will be doing them very, very soon. So look out for that, and then you can follow me, ask any questions you want, give me some hints and tips. If you've got a polytunnel, give me some hints and tips. I would love that, thank you. So, So the next bit is that we have to just put the rest of the ingredients in here. So what we need to do first is done the eggs, then you've got to fold in the flour. Right, we haven't actually weighed out the flour yet, so we're weighing them out as we go here. Sometimes I have all the stuff already weighed out, but today I wanted to show you how I weigh them out. Okay, so we need 8 ounces again of plain flour, and then we're going to sift it into that. Okay, so we'll use this bowl because that will be quite a lot of flour. And don't forget to reset so it's on 0. And then we're going to use 8 ounces. And there we are. So it's 8 ounces to 3. Let's take that out. That's it. Oh. Wow, there we are. So we'll sift that into here. There we are. Sift the flour in. Any little lumps, just push them out with your fingers. Or the spoon, but I'll just use my fingers. There we are. Okay, that's that done. Gradually fold in the flour and the fruit with a spoon. So the fruit is 8 ounces of each, okay? So we're going to use this bowl that we used earlier. So we're going to use 8 ounces of these mixed fruits. So that's the seedless raisins in there. So that's only 2.8 ounces. And then we'll have to fill it up with sultanas. So that's nearly there. Yep, that's nearly there. That's 8 ounces. So we're going to put that in there too. And now we're going to finish off with the mixed fruit, which has like orange peel and stuff in. You don't have to do that, you can just stick to what it says. But I just use whatever's laying around. That's still not quite enough, we're going to have to open this bag. Still not quite enough. So we'll just open this bag. Quite a lot of fruit this takes. There we are, that should be enough. 8. Oops, we don't want to waste any fruit. Throw them in there. Right, so that's the fruit done. And then you need to add your spice. So it's half a teaspoon. I'm going to put a teaspoon in so I can actually taste it. Depending on how old your spice is. In fact, I'll use the whole of that because there's hardly any in there. There's about a teaspoon in that little bag. And then, right, so first of all, we're going to just mix this in, then we'll put the brandy in, okay? So we'll just fold this in. It says fold it in so as not to lose all the air that we've just put into the sugar and the eggs. And then we're just going to put the brandy in. Because the brandy is like the wet liquid. Usually use milk or something. If you don't like brandy, you could just use milk. So a tablespoon of milk instead of brandy. Okay, well, I'm actually going to follow what it says. So I'm going to put the brandy in now with this spoon that has butter on it. It's fine. Might have a drop. Very Christmassy. Oh, that went a little bit over, but still, never mind. So that's the brandy. So just fold it all in. It smells really nice. Yum, yum. I think this is going to be a delicious cake. So we're nearly there. Folding it in. You don't want to see any of the flour. So once you can't see any more of the flour, I think you've mixed it properly. Okay? So gently, just gently do this. There. It's all come together nicely. Okay, so that's that done. So there's the cake mixture. So now we're going to get our cake tin that we prepared earlier. Put it here, and we're just going to tip the cake mixture into the tin. So a bit of time. There we are. And then level it out with a knife. So that's it. Oh, a tip for cakes. Doesn't say it in this book. In one of the other books I was reading it said this, and I did do it and it really worked, is to put like, you know, like a roasting tray in the bottom of the oven with some water in it before you put your cake in, and it makes like a steamy, and it makes it so that the cake doesn't get crispy around the edges. It really, really does work. I did do it before when I made a Dundee cake, and it came out really, really well. I was very, 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 very impressed. So that's just a tip. So always put some water in the bottom of the oven before you put your cake in, okay? And it really does work. So that's all the mixture. So what you need to do now is just smooth it out a bit, because you're going to be putting your walnuts on top. So I'm just going to use this spoon here, this back of this spoon. So push it into the corners. Not that there's any corners in around here. You know what I mean. Right, so just level it out so it's as level as possible. So like that. Right, talking about that little trick, I still haven't done it. I better just do that first before I put the cake in. Hold on, I'm just going to put some water in the oven. Right. So I'm going to use this tin, and I've got some hot water here that I've already boiled. So I'm just going to pour some in there. And this will all go away. It should last for the whole duration of the cake cooking. So just put your, I've done that now, so I'll put that in the bottom of the oven. Oops, careful not to burn yourself at this stage if you use hot water. You could just use cold water. Stupid oven door just swings back when I've just turned round. Right. So that's the cake mixture, that's the water. Oh, that went straight in my face. Right, so now that's the cake levelled out. So what I'm going to do now is just decorate the top with some walnuts. You could use almonds, pecan nuts, whatever nuts you like really. It just says walnuts, and I happen to have a lot of walnuts. So I'm using whole nut walnuts. It says use halves. I cannot be bothered to cut them in half, so I'm just going to go around it with some walnuts. And then I'm going to cover the top with just a bit of parchment paper, just so it doesn't go too crispy on the top or burn. Because my oven is very hot. It's like a commercial oven. It gets really, really, really hot, and it cooks very quick. So you have to keep an eye on it, which is why I like the water method as well, because it does stop things from getting too burnt or too overcooked. So just put as many walnuts on as you like. So I've done that. Look, I'll show you. So there you go. Alright, so that's the cake decorated. So now we've got to put it in the oven for, let's see how long it takes. Turn into the prepared tin, level the top and decorate with the walnuts. Bake at 150 degrees centigrade, 300 Fahrenheit, Mark 2 for about 2.5 hours. So I'm going to have to turn my oven down because it's a bit high. Let me just turn it down. I have to be careful as well because it tends to go out when you try and turn it down. I'm looking at the wrong thing. I just turned my top of my cooker off, not the oven. They're going to stay on. It's a very fiddly oven, this. Oh. Woo. Right, and then just put your cake in the oven. And that's it. And that is actually going to take 2.5 hours to cook. And to test to see if it's done, you get a knife and you poke it in it. And if it comes out clean, it's done. And if it doesn't, put it back in the oven for a bit longer. Oh, I forgot to cover the cake. I will do that in a minute. Okay, so I'll see you in a while when the cake is done. Okay, bye for now. Bye. Mr. Rob My Kitchen. I just wanted to show you the actual cake has been made, and this is the next day, by the way, because I couldn't get back to show you the cake yesterday. So I just thought I would show it to you quickly now. So here's the cake that we made yesterday. So it's cold now, so it should be all right. My partner wants a piece, so I have to cut it today. So I'm just going to cut a piece of the cake and see what it looks like inside. It took about 2.5 hours to cook on a really low temperature, about 2.5, which is about, oh, I'm not sure in the other things, but I know that it was really, really, really low. And so cooked very, very, very slowly. So we're just going to cut it and see what it's like, shall we? So you can have this cake with coffee, ice cream, custard. You can warm it up and have it as a dessert. We often do that with our cake. We have cream with it, we have custard with it, we have ice cream with it, or you can just eat it. I just want to see what it looks like. There we are. So it's a really thick, dense fruit cake. Lots and lots of fruit in there. Tons, in fact. Look inside there. So, so if you want the ingredients for this recipe, this is called half pound cake. Oh, by the way, I did glaze it with a bit of honey on the top just to make it a bit shiny, but you don't have to do that. And I forgot to put the cherries in. I didn't realise until I actually finished filming, then I looked up on the shelf, well actually when I had the stuff still out, and realised I didn't put the cherries in. Obviously you can put milk in this instead of brandy. It is got brandy in it, but you can just put milk in it for the liquid. You only need a couple of tablespoons anyway, so you don't need loads. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and a like, and ring that notification bell in case you want any more of my videos. You'll be notified for any other videos I'm making. I will be making my polytunnel video, but it's not a very nice day today, so it's a bit rainy, so I've just been offloading stuff off my computer actually and putting it on a hard drive because it's all getting full up with loads of films and videos and stuff, so it's getting a bit overloaded, overwhelmed from many years of use. So anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want the ingredients for the cake, please leave me a comment below. I will eventually get round to putting the ingredients on for the recipes that I'm making underneath the videos that I've done. But if you do want the recipe for this particular cake, I will give it to you. Just ask me and I will put it up. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the cake making of the half pound cake. So I'll see you again soon. I better go and give my partner some nice cake with his coffee now. So he came down and asked me. Okay then, so I'll speak to you soon, and thank you very much for watching my channel, and share this video with other people who you think might like it, and I will keep making them if you like them. Okay then, thank you, bye for now, bye.